You know, we usually think of math functions as just, well, equations on a page, right? But what if I told you some of them have a secret identity, a hidden property that can unlock some seriously powerful shortcuts?
It sounds a little dramatic, I know, but it's totally true. If you can spot this identity, you can predict a graph's shape without plotting a single point. And you can even solve some gnarly calculus problems in like 2 seconds flat. So the real question is, how do you learn to spot it?
All right, let's start with a little trick. Check out this function. We've got x to the fourth power and x to the second power. Notice anything about those exponents? 4 and 2? Yep, they're both even numbers. Just keep that in your back pocket for a second.
Now here's where it gets cool. Take a look at the graph of that function. Because it has all even exponents, you get a perfectly symmetric graph. The left side is a perfect mirror image of the right. You think that's a coincidence? Not a chance. This, my friends, is the secret identity of an even function.
Okay, so that exponent trick is a great place to start, but to really get what's going on under the hood, we need to look at the formal rules. This is the math that actually explains the magic behind that symmetry.
So here's the bottom line. There are two main identities. A function is even if you can plug in a negative x and you get the exact same function back. Nothing changes. On the other hand, a function is odd if you plug in a negative x and you get the entire original function, but with its sign flipped. Every single plus becomes a minus and every minus becomes a plus. And here's a little reality check. These categories are special. Most functions you just randomly bump into are actually neither even nor odd. They don't fit into these nice, neat, symmetric boxes, which, makes the ones that do that much cooler. Okay, so before we jump back into the algebra, let's just use our eyes. You can actually identify a function's identity. A lot of the time, just by looking at its graph. There are two really distinct types of symmetry you want to look for. For even functions, it's all about y-axis symmetry. Think about it like this. If you could put a mirror right on the vertical y-axis, the left half of the graph would reflect perfectly onto the right half. If you can fold it on that line and it matches up perfectly, you're looking at an even function. Odd functions are a little different, a little trippier. They have what's called origin symmetry. The best way to picture this is to imagine putting a thumbtack right in the center, at the origin, 0, 0, and then spinning the entire graph 180 degrees, completely upside down. If it lands exactly back on itself, it's odd. And this shows the difference perfectly. On the left, with graph 8, you see that classic folded in half y-axis symmetry. That's even. Now look to the right at graph 7. You can almost feel that 180-degree rotational symmetry. It's got that spin. So one's a reflection, the other's a rotation. And right here we have graph 9, our third category. If you try to fold this guy on the y-axis, nope, the sides don't match. If you try to spin it 180 degrees around the center, it doesn't land on itself either. It fails the fold test and it fails the spin test. So it's neither. Now, spotting symmetry by eye is a great skill to have, but in math, we need to be sure. We need proof. And the algebraic test is how we can be 100% certain of a function's identity without ever even looking at its graph. And the process is always the same. It's like a simple 3-step recipe. Step 1, everywhere you see an x, replace it with a negative x. Step 2, simplify the whole thing down. And step 3, compare what you ended up with to what you started with. That's it. Let's see it in action. So we substitute negative x into the function. Now, because a negative number raised to an even power always becomes positive, poof, the negative signs disappear, and the whole thing simplifies right back to the exact original function. Since f of negative x equals f of x, we've proven it's even.
Okay, now for an odd one. We plug in negative x and watch what happens. Every single sign flips. Now here's the key move. You factor out a -1 from everything. And when you do that, look what's left inside the parentheses. It's our original function. So we just proved that f of negative x equals negative f of x. It's odd.
And finally, here's what happens when a function is neither. We plug in our negative x, we simplify, and now we look at the result. Is it exactly the same as the original? Nope, so it's not even. Is it the exact negative of the original? Nah, not that either. Since it fails both tests, it's neither.
So, okay, this is all cool, but so what? Why do we go through all this trouble to label functions?
Well, it all leads to this incredible, almost magical shortcut, especially in calculus. This amazing shortcut only works in a very specific situation, when you're dealing with what's called a symmetric interval. It's a fancy term, but it just means an interval that's perfectly balanced around 0, like from -5 to 5 or -pi to pi. Now imagine your teacher asks you to find the definite integral of some big, nasty odd function over one of those symmetric intervals. This thing could be a beast, a total nightmare to calculate. But if you remembered to check its identity first, you already know the answer is always 0. That's it. It's always 0. It doesn't matter how complicated the function is. The integral of any odd function from -a to a is just 0. It's one of the most satisfying shortcuts in all of math. So why does that work? Well, it all comes back to that 180-degree rotational symmetry. Because of that symmetry, the positive area the function makes above the x-axis on one side is perfectly exactly canceled out by the negative area it makes below the x-axis on the other side. They just wipe each other out.
And that's really the big takeaway here. This isn't just about sorting functions into boxes. It's a fundamental idea in math and science that if you can identify an underlying pattern, a deep structure like symmetry, you can often turn a really hard problem into something ridiculously simple.
So the final question isn't really just about math, is it? If spotting symmetry can make a complex calculus problem just disappear, what complex problems in our own lives or in the world could be made simpler if we just learn to find the right kind of symmetry?